is A Automotive Reviews. And the first thing I gotta say is that, in short, Ford has no plans to curb or discourage or stop dealers from marking up all those Broncos that were reserved. Ford dealers could easily ruin this launch and leave a bad taste in consumers' mouth. And that's really, really bad. Now, the launch of the Ford Bronco and the Bronco Sport lineup made waves as potential buyers flocked in early July after the reveal of the Bronco to the Ford website to put down their $100 reservation payment. Now, while customers may have been looking at the price and information that Ford has provided on their website, there's one very important thing that they may have overlooked: the inevitable dealer markup. Now, according to some reports by Motor Authority, this could prove problematic and it can make issues. It could be a headache. Now, dealer markups are not a new issue in the new car market. Wherever a new product comes out that is in high demand, dealers are able to capitalize by attaching huge markup adjustments fees to the final sale price of the car. This is how we ended up with the new examples of the C8 Corvette and the Toyota Supra, with price tags well into the six-figure range. Well, according to Fetter, Ford has no plans to stop dealers from attaching these price hikes to the reborn off-roader. This is also true for buyers who have already placed their reservations, meaning they may be on a hook for quite a bit more cash than expected, based on their initial bill price. This news came through a tweet after a conversation with Fetter and Ford North America product, according to Muscle Cars and Trucks. The manager, Mark Levine. You know, at this point, there's no real way of knowing just how much of a market adjustment Ford Bronco models will receive when they hit the dealership floors. Most of the time, you see these hikes attached to sports cars, but the off-roader is an enthusiast vehicle in its own right. Combine that with the fact that the Ford Bronco is by far the most anticipated vehicle of the year, and there's going to be nothing like it. And the situation seems prime for a lot of Ford dealerships to do some ugly business practices. Now, if you already ordered your Bronco, just be ready for the dealerships to possibly make your experience a bit more challenging. Now, we've heard of some experiences with the Corvette C8. Just recently, a gentleman taking delivery. He took delivery with his lawyer. He got to the dealership and found out that his car was $10,000 more than what he anticipated. And prior to going to the dealership, he saw an ad for his car that was for like $110,000 when he priced out his automobile about like $85,000. It was a loaded Corvette C8 with the Z51 package and many other options. But they were going to turn around and sell it to him for another $10,000 than what he paid for it. So it could be a headache, folks. Just don't know what to anticipate, but just get ready. Whenever you want something good, like my mom always said, you're going to have to fight for it. It's an ugly world out there, folks. So, now, there are a few dealers, though, out there that are not, as of today, that are not going to mark their prices up. Let's look at some of those dealers that they're talking about that are not going to participate in these price hikes, as far as we know. So there's some dealers, and these dealers say that they will not mark up the prices. Here goes some of the names. Some of the names of the dealers are as follows. Hold on a second, folks. I was just there a second ago and I just lost it. And here are the lists, folks. We have Alabama, Woody Anderson Ford. Also, Bessemer Town and Country Ford. In Alabama, Birmingham, Anderson Ford. In Arizona, Phoenix, Sanderson Ford. Arizona, Scottsdale, Chapman Ford. In Arizona, Phoenix, Camelback Ford. In Arizona, Gilbert, Santan Ford. Austin, Texas, Maxwell Ford. California, San Diego, Kearney Mesa Ford. California, Los Angeles, Galpin Ford. California, Lake Elsinore Ford. California, Hawthorne, South Bay Ford. California, Roseville, Future Ford. California, Ensenadas Ford. California, Poway, Perry Ford Poway. California, Riverside, Raceway Ford. California, Cerratos, Norm Reed's Superstore. California, Folsom Ford. California, Glendale, Star Ford. California, Torrance, AutoNation Ford. California, Redwood City, Town Ford. California, Costa Mesa, Robin Ford. California, Rancho Santa Margarita Ford. California, Walnut Creek Ford. California, Temescula, Ghosh Ford. I'm killing some of these names, so sorry about that, folks. California, Morgan Hill, the Ford Shore. Colorado, Silverdorn, Ford Summit. Colorado, Centennial, Grove Ford. Colorado, Fort Collins, Spratly, Bar Ford. Colorado, Littleton, AutoNation Ford. Colorado, Aurora, Mark Norton Ford. Florida, Apopka, Mullinax Ford. Florida, Stark, Murray Ford. Florida, Augustine, Bozart Ford. Sunrise, Florida, Sawgrass Ford. Daytona Beach, Florida, Gary Yetmans Ford. Tampa Bay, Florida, Brandon Ford. Plant City, Florida, Jared Scott Ford. Georgia, Newman, Georgia, Mike Fitzpatrick Ford. In Atlanta, Georgia, Wade Ford. Snellville, Georgia, 5-star Ford Stone Mountain. Alphanetta Ford, Georgia. Angela Cross Ford. Sandy Springs, Georgia, Nellie Ford. Athens, Georgia, Athens Ford. Honolulu, Hawaii, Honolulu Ford. Sellersburg, Indiana, Jim O'Neill Ford. Granger, Iowa, Granger Ford. Salina, Kansas, Long MacArthur Ford. Shawnee, Kansas, Shawnee Mission Ford. Lewisburg, Kansas, Lewisburg Ford. Burlington, Kansas, Craw Motto Ford. Franklin, Kentucky, Hunt Ford. Franklin, Kentucky, Hunt Ford, which is mentioned twice. Dansville, Kentucky, Stewart Powell Ford. Winkler, Manitoba, Hometown Ford. Columbia, Maryland, Apple Ford. Baltimore, Maryland, Bob Davison Ford. And it goes on and on. It's a huge list. And these are some of the dealerships that are not going to go for markups. And we'll go back from the bottom. We'll go back to where we started. Fresco, Texas, AutoNation Ford. Tigard, Oregon, Landmark Ford. Pullman, Washington, Jess Ford. Alabaster, Alabama, Ernest McCary Ford. Las Vegas, Nevada, Team Ford, Leakin. Austin, Texas, Covert Ford. Houma, Louisiana, Terrebonne Ford. Dallas, Texas, 5-star Ford. Louisville, Kentucky, Oxmoor Ford. Albuquerque, New Mexico, Power Ford. Dixon, Tennessee, Beeman Ford. Fort Smith, Arkansas, Randall Ford. Church Falls, Virginia, Coons Ford. Ford, Kentucky, Hunt Ford. Goodyear, Arizona, Rodeo Ford. Issaquah, Washington, Evergreen Ford. Holland, Michigan, Barber Ford. Mahwah, New Jersey, Mahwah Ford. Kent, Washington, Bowen Scarf. Olympia, Washington, Mullinax Ford. Spokane, Washington, Window Ford. West Hogle, Washington, Wesley Ford. Fairfax, Virginia, Ted Britt Ford. Richmond, Virginia, Sheehy Ford, Richmond. And Fredensburg, Virginia, Purvis Ford. Layton, Utah, Ed Kinley Ford. Salt Lake City, Utah, Super Ford. Grand Prairie, Texas, Grand Prairie Ford. Denton, Texas, Bill Utter Ford. Arlington, Texas, Dundonald Ford. Mesquite, Texas, Town East Ford. Rosenberg, Texas, Legacy Ford. Dallas, Texas, Park City Ford. El Paso, Texas, Shanley Ford. Albany, Texas, Arrow Ford. Richardson, Texas, North Central Ford. Grapevine, Texas, Grapevine Ford. Austin, Texas, Left Jeff Ford. Marshall, Texas, Texas Ford. New Broomfield, Texas, Bluebonnet Ford. Midland, Texas, Roger Ford. Tomball, Texas, Tomball Ford. And Mount Juliet, Tennessee, Two Rivers Ford. In South Carolina, Travelers Rest, South Carolina, George Coleman Ford. In Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, Chute Ford, Hemerville. Warren, Pennsylvania, Warren Midtown Motors. These are just these are the dealers that, as of today, have not, they said they would not participate in price hikes. This is Automotive Reviews. Sorry for this huge, long list. Remember, like, share, and subscribe.
If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up, share it with your friends, and subscribe for more interesting videos.